Guys, today I want to go over what baits to use when you're going after sand bass during the sand bass run, and also creek fishing, urban creek fishing, small pond fishing. What variety of lures and baits I always take with me, and what I suggest you take with you whenever you go. And we'll just jump right into it. First, we're going to start with topwater and subsurface baits. Um, these are going to include your frogs here. And guys, size, when you're going in these urban creeks, these aren't really going to be for sand bass. I don't really hear of anybody using topwater for sand bass, but you know, maybe that would be a little bit of a challenge I could do with this coming up season. But getting these little frogs here, just an assortment of little ones here, these are going to be perfect for your urban creek fishing, going after the small bass that are in there, and your small pond fishing. Just get an assortment here. I have, you know, of course, on most frogs, you got the white bellies, but this one's got a black one here. It's all black. Definitely get an assortment of colors. Guys, the biggest thing, if you ask me, the biggest thing when it comes to fishing is figuring out what you like to use, and what you're comfortable with using. So it's really all about getting out there and just testing everything out, seeing what works for you and what doesn't. But for topwater, definitely these little frogs. They have, you know, big old frogs. You don't need those for the creeks. Just these little ones right here will do perfect. Subsurface. When I say subsurface, I'm talking about these jerk baits here. Can't really show you that way. Ow! Be careful with the hooks. Jerk baits right here, and you want to go small also. You can't, I mean, you can every now and then. You're going to find a giant, you know, just tucked away in some back corner of some forgotten fishing hole. But guys, you want to go a little bit smaller if you're going down into these creeks, just because they're going to go after it for sure, but you want to make sure that the fish is actually able to get the lure in its mouth, get the bait in its mouth. So it never hurts to go with the smaller presentation. Excuse me, with the smaller presentation. So that's really it, what I got for topwater and subsurface. But little frogs, little jerk baits. If you can find a small buzz bait or something like that, or a really small chatterbait, I don't even know how small those get. I don't think I've ever seen small ones, but that's really going to be it for your topwater and subsurface. So moving on, let's hit the spinner baits next. Spinner baits, guys, I'm telling you this right off the bat. If you have little kids, little boy, little girls, and you're wanting to see if they enjoy fishing, want to get into fishing, or you're just taking them out just to test the waters, grab you some spinner baits. They, I kid you not, will catch anything and everything from small sunfish up to really good sized bass. And what we're talking about, Strike King and Booyah. And the Strike King here is 1/8 ounce, and then the Booyah is 3/16 ounce. Go with those if you're going after this style of spinnerbait. Go a little bit smaller. But honestly, going into these urban creeks, you get a lot of shallow, really shallow holes. So what I would suggest going for is either going to be your road runners, which look like this. It's got the underspin there. That's going to be your road runner. Other than that, you got, it's a tangled mess, rooster tails. You could go to Walmart, pretty much for any of these baits that I'm showing you here. You could go into a Walmart and pick these up for a fairly decent price. Let me see if I could get a rooster tail off here out of this tangle. There you go. That's a rooster tail right there. That's a black one. It's got that blade there that spins. These are perfect for beginners. I mean, these were the the lures that I bought when I was really starting to get into fishing. I used spinner baits every time I went out fishing. I dropped one and I don't want to step on it. I'll find it later. Hopefully not with my foot. Yeah, so spinner baits, guys, those are going to catch a multitude of fish. Anything you see in a creek that's hungry enough to eat, throw one of those at it, and it's definitely going to, at the least, check it out and chase it. Perfect for little beginners, for kids, whenever they're getting the hang of casting out and reeling it in, using lures, instead of just using like a hook and bobber, you know, growing up. Yeah, guys, spinner baits, definitely get into those. Rooster tails are going to be amazing. And one thing I will say about creeks, if there's a ton of grass and just rocks and all that you're getting hung up on using the rooster tails, go with the Road Runner. The blade's on the bottom there, and then it's just got one single hook that's going up. And that's going to kind of help you avoid getting hung up on a bunch of grass and on the rocks, or sticks and logs that might be laying around or floating around. And on the back of these guys are perfect. I've got one set up right here. Stick you a little grub on there, curly tail grub, or some kind of trailer on there, and that's gonna just add action to it. It's gonna have the blade spinning, and then that tail's just gonna be going crazy right behind it, and you're gonna just drive fish crazy with those. So those are great baits to use pretty much everywhere you go. And of course there are bigger spinners for when you go out to the lake. You got big O spinners like this with the Colorado blades right there. And this is a 3/8 ounce. So you got your 1/8 ounce, which I would definitely take into the creeks, urban creek fishing, small pond fishing. And then you got your 3/8 ounce. So there's a little bit of size difference for you, but that you're going to use if you got giant ponds or going out to the lake. Then you definitely want to go pick you up some of those. But yeah, spinners. And next, I guess we'll move on to jig heads, soft plastics, just small jigs, and some swim baits, just small swim baits there. Here we got your, let's start with the jig heads. We'll look at the jig heads right there. And guys, these as well are going to be the smaller jig heads. I think they're also the 1/8 or the 3/16. Was it 3/16? Yeah. So you go for your 1/8 or 3/16. And again, also, like I got on that Road Runner, on that spinner, you could throw these small curly tail grubs on here, which I'll show y'all what all I got when it comes to those here in a second. But yeah, just these little jig heads. These are awesome. Not so much for your sand bass, which maybe I'll challenge myself this coming up season. I've already said maybe I'll use a jerk bait or a frog, or maybe one of these jig heads, and see if I could get a strike on them. We'll see what I could do. Let's see what else I got here. Mr. Crappie by Strike King. I actually got these this past Christmas. White elephant, I think, or the ball saran wrap game there, but it's black and chartreuse. And these guys, they're called 2-inch Jokers, tuxedo black chartreuse, 15 in a pack. These are gonna work great. Sticking them on small jig heads. Let's see, what else do I have here? the Cajun Cricket Bobby Garland crappie baits, 18 count. It's a little baby shad, look like a little tiger shad or something like that. Anything this size, these really small grubs here, taking those down into those creeks where the fish don't really see a whole lot of action, they're definitely going to go after these. Crappie are going to go crazy. If you have them, we don't really have crappie too much in our really shallow urban creeks here. I don't know if really anybody does. But the little bluegill in there and the little bass that are in those creeks, definitely go after these. You got an assortment. Here's some little swim baits. Sandbass go after these pretty good. These work during the Sandbass run. Of course, on the hooks that you're using for these, I believe I got this from Walmart. Like I said earlier, most of this you could just walk into Walmart and get, but you got your little hooks here. And I didn't grab my other hooks out. I probably should have. Give me 1 second. All right. Something else, and I'm glad I had to go grab this because this reminds me, I've got all these little things, these little crappie crankbaits, little crankbaits there. I think I said all crankbaits. Basically, they're all crankbaits. You got little tube jigs there, little tangled up and melted together. I love this little thing here. I've got those crankbaits on one side, and then I got my assortment of jig head hooks and just all my other hooks here. I love having something little like this. And you could also throw an assortment of weights into one of these compartments and just throw them into your bag, and then you're pretty much good. You could carry your creek fishing, your what's it called, terminal tackle in this, and that's going to be your weights and your hooks, and that'll work really well for you. So yeah, you could go buy these packs here at Walmart. They come with an assortment of little hooks here that are perfect for these tube baits. Crappie magic. But yeah, those will be perfect for that, and you'll be all set. I have a ton of these little curly tail grubs and little swim baits. For whatever reason, I decided to take them all out of their own packaging and throw them all together in this big old Ziploc bag. And I've had these for a couple of years, and surprisingly, they've kept up well. I use them all the time. They work really good for me. Roll it up real small, throw it in your bag, and you got it. I would definitely take, if you're going down these creeks, every now and then you will come across a good sized bass. So maybe, figure it out, make a decision for yourself. If you want to take a couple of bigger hooks, which is good in this little thing here. You may have seen it earlier, but I do have good sized hooks in here, and it never hurts to go ahead and throw some good sized worms in the bag with you, just in case whenever you're going down into the creeks, just because you really never know what you're going to come up across. You may be going down a real shallow, real narrow creek, and then all of a sudden behind someone's house or something like that will open up into a really good sized fishing hole. So it never hurts to bring stuff along, but I will just stay with the smaller stuff. For you Sandbass fishermen, or if you're wanting to start getting into Sandbass fishing, what I take with me are the small jig heads with those curly tail grubs, and the spinner baits. Believe it or not, the Sandbass will go after one of these guys here that look like this. Here's I got an assortment of those, white, black here, and I've got a yellow one that you'll see here in a second. But they've just got the Colorado blades there. They work really well. Sandbass actually go after these pretty good, so they do very well. What else do I got? yeah, if you're going down in the creek for these sand bass, one thing I will tell you to bring with you is a couple of weights like this, and get the weighted ones, the ones with the weights on the bottom. It'll help you casting out there. It'll just help you get some weight so you could get further casts. And they really help out whenever it comes to casting and getting to the other side of the creek, or getting to a specific little spot if you want it there. I've just got this bag here. It's another Ziploc bag, variety of bobbers, but really all I do is grab a couple of these and stick them in the corner of the bag, and they do just fine. Let's see, rod and reel combo, what I go with. This is probably all I'm going to take with me sand bass fishing this coming up season. It's a 6-foot medium action rod. Small reel, you don't need some big heavy duty thing whenever you're going to the creeks or going after these sand bass. I've just got 10-pound braid on here. It's all you need. You don't need to worry about leaders. I never worry about those. It's a little chartreuse Strike King spinner on there, and last year it surprised me. It took me off guard, but I think I actually caught most of my sand bass last year on that bait, on this exact same one. And I'm definitely going to be using it again this coming up year. We're actually only a couple of months away. We're in January right now, so we've got 2 months, maybe a little less. Last year they started late February. They were already up in the creeks and I was catching them. Let's see, what do you carry all this in? Go with something small. Let's see, to carry all this in, you could go with something really small like this. This over the shoulder, or you could, excuse me, even you could tighten this up really good and put it around your waist like a little fanny pack. You could go with something real small like this, or go with something a little bigger like this. This is like a over-the-shoulder carry. Real simple. You could get these from Academy, and let's see if I could get it open. This is actually a really good deal. It actually comes with, I think it came with 2 or 3. Let's see what it came with. So this bag came with these 2 here, and then I bought me a good waterproof one and just another medium-sized box. But that's gonna hold everything you need. Really, you might even only use 1 or 2 of these, and just have a bunch of extra space in here. Something else it comes with is it's got your holster for some pliers right here, and that's, you don't have to dig around in your bag for it. And I think it's even clipped on, so you could actually take that off at that spot and put it wherever you like. I would definitely say go pick you up a bag like this. They have a couple of sizes smaller than this one, but I definitely wanted to get this one here. It fit well, and I'm definitely going to be putting it to use. So I would say go get you one of those. Past couple of years, I have been using like a full-size backpack, and it's just getting big, getting heavy, so I wanted to switch up to something that would make me carry a little less weight, and just carry less overall, you know, easier on the back, and easier to haul around. Guys, I guess that's it. Went over topwater, frogs, jerkbaits, jigs, spinners, grubs, bags, tackle. That's really gonna be it. I can't think of anything else besides bug spray. Take some of that with you for sure. Throw that in your bag. Trust me, you will want this, or at least keep it in the car and spray it on you before you leave the parking lot and go down these trails. You won't regret it. You will regret it if you don't spray something on you. Put something on you. But other than that, guys, I think that's it. Might be a short, quick video. Might be about 10 minutes. We'll see how it comes out. But nonetheless, that's it. Let me know what y'all think of the video. add lures? Do y'all think I should take something else down there and try something else out? Yeah, let me know. Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button for me, guys. If you like this video, let me know. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, I'll keep them coming. Hit that subscribe button for me. I'm excited for the coming up Sandbass run. It's going to be awesome to get out of the house and get some fishing done. I'm going to get this bag set up and then probably set it on the kayak and wait for March to roll around and then hit the creek with my buddy. But until then, I may get out and do some fishing. I may not. With little Bentley here, I pretty much come home from work and help take care of him, or do what I can, you know. But yeah, I don't see too much fishing coming up until March, so I'll definitely see y'all then. Definitely get out there. We'll do some catch and cooks. I'm gonna start looking up some recipes so we could try out a couple of different dishes maybe, but we'll definitely check it out. So yeah, guys, again, let me know what you think of the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, come back, check out my other videos when I post, and yeah, I'll see y'all next time.